So again, that was South Africa by Beethoven. I think that song is like an absolute summer banger.
I would have to agree. It's very interesting hearing the very lightly plucked strings with this kind of his very poppy backbeat, and then just the continuous, just I want to call them like trap calls,
Yeah.
And
Exactly, the very like Quavo type stuff, basically.
yeah. So that was out of Norway?
Yeah, they're Norwegian.
Huh. See, it did not feel Norwegian.
That's the thing. Like Norway, I think of like kind of depressing, dark music. I think of like a lot of metal and stuff like that. I don't think of like this kind of like upbeat, summery kind of sound.
It was so laid back. I feel like that's something you could play just like lounging on a beach, like fruity drink in hand,
Exactly. It's also interesting production wise, because like obviously those plucked like kind of flamenco guitar almost, we haven't really had a whole lot of used like in that way in like American hip-hop production, but the rest of the production just screams like 2017 to me. Like about 5 years ago is about where the production sounds like to me, as far as like where a lot of the choices are coming from, which I think is really interesting.
I think you're right. I feel it has a lot of those rap influences of like the real beginning of like the trap and mumble rap, big craze, and yet it just the guitar really throws me there. It's so, I don't know, so light and airy and doesn't have that trap feeling at all.
That was what drew me to it a lot, because like I've seen a lot of like both in like dance pop and hip hop type stuff using like acoustic guitar and stuff like that. But I feel like a lot of the acoustic guitar loops and samples and things that get used in that context feel a bit sterile to me a lot of the time. Like a good example is like Friends by Marshmello, right? Friends, that song.
Yeah.
But it's like it's kind of just simple chords. Like this really cool like flamenco stuff just adds this really interesting depth to it, I think.
Yeah, totally.
So what is our next tune going to be?
So the next tune is called Yayo. It is by an artist who I don't speak the language, so I'm not even going to attempt it. But they're out of Belarus.